a havoc cap up here in the northeast. So essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking off, departing, saddling up, rejoining, all that good stuff, getting formed out here in the working area, and we're just going to be burning holes in the sky, doing a cap. That's a terrible drawing. Doing a cap in front of this AWACS. We're going to skip all the mission planning, which would go into setting up lanes, but roughly our threat access is going to be from the west, and so our hot direction is going to be to the west, and we're just going to be looking for any hot contacts. As part of the mission planning process, we've identified a 60-mile defensive commit line from our position, which will give us about 80 to 90 miles from the high value asset. And so we're going to really skip past setting up like an IFF matrix, but the fundamental items will be link correlation and then hostile act, hostile intent. Hostile act would be like above 0.9 Mach. Hostile intent would be like radar locks, ECM, anything of that nature. And so if they meet that criteria, just very loosely, we will declare those groups as hostile. And if they've met our defensive commit line, we will commit to engage those forces. So we're going to set up here, do a couple spins, expect a commit or two, and then we'll RTB as a 4-ship back to Nellis for debriefing and just kind of after action, quick after action. Okay, so that's big picture. Now I'm going to skip over to this contract document, and this is basically our employment standards for the Viper. I'm not going to cover everything, but I'm just going to hit some basics as we go through. So the big one that is kind of key, this base one, it's just like be smart, don't hit the ground, don't hit the air, don't run out of gas without letting us know, don't get shot, right? Basic stuff. Then we start to get into mutual support. Have you heard the terms visual and contractual deconfliction?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so there's two types of deconfliction. Visual deconfliction means you see me, I see you, and we don't crash into each other.
Sure.
Contractual deconfliction is I don't see you anymore, we're in the weather, and we need to be safe, so we're going to contractually deconflict. So we're going to assume visual deconfliction today. That's kind of like the standard. And if you were to no longer be visual, one of the things that you would do is you would call blinds with an altitude. So if I'm 2, I lose sight on Coco, I'm going to be like, 2's blind, 19.5, like 19,500, okay? So now it's up to him to be like, hey, 1's visual, cool, and he's going to talk me back on. Or he's going to be like, okay, 1's blind, 20,000, right? And so now we're going to establish contractual deconfliction until we can regain that visual deconfliction and that visual mutual support.
Mm-hmm.
So how we actually use these concepts is the engaged fighter and the supporting fighter. The engaged fighter is the guy who's maneuvering and who's doing all of the kind of primary work. The supporting fighter is the guy who is essentially supporting that engaged fighter. And the key takeaway is that the supporting fighter is the guy who is deconflicting from the engaged fighter. So this is not the same thing as flight lead and wingman. This is who is deconflicting from who. Okay, so let's say that we're flying off. You're my wingman, right? Initially, you're going to be deconflicting from me. Okay, let's say I see something. It's maneuvering on you. Okay, I can tell you, hey, 2, brake left, press, and basically completely absolve you of your responsibility to look at me and deconflict. And so we would hit this a lot harder in the B course. For the basic point today, deconflict, don't crash, don't lose sight. If you go blind, let me know, and then we work it out. Like I can be like, hey, I'm visual with you too. I'm your 3 o'clock high, wing flash, give you a wing flash so you can see me.
Okay.
From that point, you would be like, okay, 2's visual, 1 press. Or you'd be like, two's blind, right? And we just keep working it.
Sure.
Okay. Cruising on. We're going to skip all this crap. We'll talk about the rejoin a little bit later. Skipping. We'll skip the lighting. We'll skip mini blocks. TAC admin. All right. I don't know how you've done your TAC turns in the past. What are you used to? What's the contract?
Well, that's one thing that's been a little confusing for me. So, from research I've done and videos I've watched, it's level turn and a G to hold airspeed for tactical turns. One of the guys in the group that I was in told me mill power 3Gs. And I was like, okay, well, that didn't make any sense to me because you'll bleed airspeed at 3Gs, but so
yeah,
what do you...
That's great. So it really depends what you're flying, what you're doing, what the contract is. I mean, there's good ways, bad ways. What we do, our contract is what you said. So mill power and pitch to hold your airspeed.
Okay.
That way, if you're at sea level and you're a clean Viper, it might be a 5G turn. If you're at 22,000 feet in a dirty Viper, it might be like 2.5 Gs.
Sure.
But you're just trying to keep that constant airspeed. It's not to say 4G tack turns are wrong. It's not to say like the Hog 2G tack turns are wrong. It just depends on the airframe, depends on what's briefed. For us today, we will 100% do G for power. G for airspeed.
Perfect.
At mill power.
That's what I've practiced, so that'll be good.
Okay, cool. The second part of this that really screws a lot of people up is all turns are assumed to be delayed unless we say the pro word in place. So do you know the difference between a delayed tack turn and an in-place tack turn?
I believe so, if you're talking like a delayed 90 versus like a hook turn.
Yes. Yep. So if we called like 90 right, basically you would turn 90, okay? I would delay, and then I would turn 90.
Yep.
If we were to call in place 90 right, we would do it at the exact same time.
Sure.
Okay.
Which would put me in trail, but
yeah, exactly. And then from there, you would just stay there until I either told you to float to line left or we did another tack turn or some other bullshit.
Okay.
The next item about these tack turns, I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, comms. Comms always confuses people. You'll hear guys be like, go 90 right, 2. And then you're like, I've seen all sorts of crap. So the assumption is in visual formation, like as long as we can see each other, we're not contractually deconflicted. You don't have to say anything because I'm going to see you as flight lead and I'm going to make sure that you're actually maneuvering. So like, even if I was like hook right, or so the actual, if you go to the book, what the book says, it's flight call sign maneuver. So flight call sign is the preparatory command, maneuver is the command execution. So Viper 1, hook. And that's the next thing. Hook is assumed to be away from wingman. Now, common courtesy is I'm going to be like hook left, hook right. But Viper 1, hook.
If you just call like, hook, you're going to turn away from me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's the basics for today on tack turns. I kind of skipped this in the contract. The assumption is that you're going to be in position or correcting. So position means that you're going to be bidding for the line abreast position when we're in tactical formation, which for our purposes today will brief at 1.5 to 1 mile, so 6,000 to 9,000 feet. You'll have tack and yardstick. And then the new book says that you have up to 30 degrees aft, but you really want to bid to that forward line. If you're super aft, super out of position, I don't want you actually hitting the afterburner and getting back there. I'd rather hear you say too stripped, because what I will do is I'll call a shackle. And a shackle, you're going to hear me say like Viper 1 shackle 360, okay? What that means to you is shackle is we're going to cross sides and we're going to fix the formation on that final heading. So here, shackle 360 might actually be me turning like this and you flying straight ahead as a nice little courtesy to get us back into formation. All
Okay.
right. Breezing through it, 10 minutes.
Will the specifics of that be in the radio call itself?
No,
Or is
you'll
that
just hear
exactly
the.
what you're going to do?
That's pretty much what I'm going to do.
Okay.
You're just going to do visual and make it work. So
Oh, okay.
swag it out for today, scientific wild ass guess, and just remember in position or correcting. What I have seen, not to anchor on this, but what I will see sometimes is that guys will be too far aft and we'll call shackle, and then they'll do that, and then they end up too far aft over here because they traced a big path in the sky.
Okay.
This is kind of like a courtesy measure to keep us from burning too much gas and then also address the formation. So if we have a shit ton of time, like I'm not going to do anything. You can just slowly cruise up at mill power. But if we're about to commit and I need us in a good formation before we commit, I might dress the formation.
Okay.
It just depends.
Sure.
All right, skipping ahead. Okay, baseline. I don't want to anchor too much. I'm probably anchoring already. But baseline SA, these are like assumptions. So the assumption is you're visual with me. You're visual with the other guys we're talking about. If you don't see someone, it's blind, right? If you don't see a friendly, blind. Don't see me, blind. No joy. Okay, so we're going to assume you don't see any enemies. If you see the other enemy, you would call tally. Naked, just like it says, like if you don't have anything on the RWR, cool, awesome. As soon as you get spiked or you get nails, you would audible that. And then radar would be clean. So it's going to be weird today because we should have data link. But if you didn't have data link and let's say there's some contacts that pop up on your radar and nobody has said anything, you would actually call that out, be like, you know, two's got hits, bullseye 320, 50, blah, blah, blah.
So
And you would actually.
So as a wingman, you kind of want me to wait for you to see those first. Is that what you're saying, or not really?
Not really. So the assumption is that you don't see shit on your radar. As soon as you see stuff, you would call that out. And
Okay.
I can explain that a little bit better at the whiteboard without dwelling, because this will get into our BBR. But if we go to a side profile real quick, the assumption here is that we have different AORs, areas of responsibility. So we're flying up fat, dumb, and happy. Okay, what will happen is I'll be looking at a portion of the sky low, okay? And you will be looking at a portion of the sky higher. We'll have some mild radar overlook here in the center region where we're crossing. But there's a very good chance, right? Like you might actually have contacts that I'll never see on my radar. So if we have link 16, it's awesome. Like we don't have to worry about this. But in situations where there's no links, you would just basically call, hey, two's targeted or two's got hits with a bra or a bullseye as applicable. So the assumption is if you don't say anything, you don't have anything. That's kind of what that contract is saying. Empty, that's for seed. We'll skip that. We won't do formation. All right, we're going to get into some basic launch and leave. Have you done launch and leave, launch and decide flows before?
Not, I guess not like super strictly briefed stuff. I don't know. It's hard to say what I know and I don't know, but
Okay,
I kind of have a basic idea of like what skate, short skate. I know what the MAR is. I know what the DOR is, stuff like that. I haven't had the opportunity to apply that too much though in actual flying. So,
okay, so we're gonna breeze right past targeting. There's picture, directive, AOR targeting. I'll use directive targeting today. The essential idea here is that we're going to commit earlier enough that we can have a skate flow followed by either a short skate or a launch and decide flow afterwards. So our skate flow is the launch and leave. Our short skate is a much closer launch and leave. Our launch and decide flow, which is, hey, can we close with and attrite this group? That's our bonsai flow. Essentially, we're going to identify, hey, we need to deal with these guys. And so that's going to be a call from me. It's going to be like Python commit with a heading, okay? And so we're going to go commit on this picture of bad guys. So in this case, it's a 4-ship box. Maybe it's 2 groups. maybe these guys are like group criteria. We'll skip that for now. 2 groups, depth 10. So we commit out here. At a certain point, we're going to target, and that's our meld range, which, if I go back to this, is 40 miles for us. Basically, we're going to stop sanitizing, and we're going to start locking these guys up in preparation for a shot. And so it will make you green. I'll be blue here. Basically, in this situation, let's say that we're going to sort into this group. I would direct you to target this guy, and then I would share your group by sorting in. Okay, so I would say like, hey, to target lead group sort southern. Okay, and then you would call Python 2's targeted lead group sorted southern bullseye 352 50 blah blah blah. So if I've directed you to target and we're on a flow like a skate, short skate, bonsai, they've met criteria because we've called these groups as hostile prior to this. You are good to shoot as soon as you reach valid shot criteria. So the game plan here is that you're taking a shot around 38 miles, but no later than 32 miles. Now, if you're using ECM, this range gets collapsed and it gets very ugly, and we'll just deal with that. But the idea is that you're taking a nice early shot. And so I'm basically going to let you take the shot comm here. Okay, to Fox 3 lead group, right? And then we'd throw a crank call in there. I'll probably be directive today, maybe like crank left here.
Sure. And
so I don't want to hit the mechanics too hard, but basically nose goes downhill and we start getting, basically the jet into some thicker air. We're targeting 0.9 indicated Mach. Once we get to a husky state, which is like A6, A4, basically we can call, Viper husky out left. And the out call is a 5G turn. So this is where it starts to deviate from our tack turns. Yep. 5G turn at AB, and we're targeting 0.9 Mach. What we're trying to do now is get into our cold ops. Cold ops is just us running away from the bad guy. And we're going to look for about 24,000 feet is what we're trying to get down to on this first flow. In our cold ops, we're looking to do a couple of things. We're looking to look at our sensors. We're looking to address our formation, so back into a perfect line abreast. We're looking to assess state, and we're going to try and get some situational awareness that we may have lost. So going to big picture, what's happening with the fight. Standard today is going to be about a minute of cold ops. That can be longer and it can be shorter, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But this will give time for our 3 and 4 guys to come over top and basically sort on trail groups and go from there. So for you, it's going to be stupid easy. Basically, fly formation, shoot who you need to shoot, run cold as we need to go cold. I guess, again, this is fire hose, so apologies, but I'll give it to you now, and if it's not perfect, no factor. But a general what state call is going to be like Viper what state. And the way that would work is, and I'll probably just demo it today to give you like insight, but it's going to be active missiles, IR missiles, gas. So Viper what state? One is 5, 1, 7.0. So I've got 5 active remaining, 1 IR remaining, 7.0 gas. And then you'd go 2, 3, 4, and we'd just go through it, and it keeps my SA high on what we've got for missiles and ordnance. All right, so that's a launch and leave, and basically once the other guys are out, it would be like tactic flow targeting for the recommit. So Viper 1 and 2, tactic will be short skate. Actually, that would not be how that goes. It'd be Viper 1, 2 ship in, short skate, 1 target. And I'll skip targeting because I really don't want to delay this, but it's a way for us to manage what missiles are there. So if I tell you to target, it means shoot. If I tell you to sanitize, it means not to shoot. If I tell you to sort, it means you can also basically try and sort into whatever I'm targeting, which means you can shoot. The only time you wouldn't shoot would be if you weren't directed to target or sort, or if I directed myself to target, then you would just chill. Don't worry about it today. It really doesn't matter. All right. That's a launch and leave flow. We just keep cycling. Does that kind of jive with what you've seen before?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Comms might be a little rough on my part as far as, I don't know, specific comms in and out is going to be interesting, but
yeah. So quick time hack here. I'm at 21 minutes. We'll wrap this up. The last part, and we might just try it today. I know I said we wouldn't, but we might try it. For instance, a DCA would be a launch and decide. With the launch and decide flow, we're going to pretend we've tried some of these groups with launch and leaves. And let's say that our AWACS guy is real close. We can't really afford to run cold any longer. We need to have a high PK of taking out this guy. And so what we might do is a launch and decide flow. So tactic flow targeting, tactic would be like a notchback bonsai, and targeting, if we don't say anything, it's just picture or AOR or directed. So a notchback in this case is that we're going to separate from each other. And what we're looking for here is a notch entry. Basically, it's a chance for us to assess who this guy is looking at. So in this situation, maybe I get hard spiked. Okay, so now I call 1 spiked, 2 is naked. So you would pitch in here and take a shot at this guy. And I would either leave if I am at decision range, or I could continue to try and defeat the seeker if it was much farther. Most likely what will happen is I'll be spiked. I'll be right there at decision range, so I will leave. And he'll shoot one at me. He might see you if he's super high SA. So big 29 today. Probably wouldn't do this if there was a human player, but depending on how much SA they have, let's say they have really good SA. So maybe he drops lock on me. He shoots you. What would you do? Well, you would potentially go to the notch to defeat, or you would go to leave, which would leave me naked. And so I would pitch back in to pressure this guy. The other option here is that this guy is, maybe we've already pitched back and we're just on a bonsai flow. We're reaching launch and decide. I'm directive. I'm like 2 notch south, right? So you notch, I notch north. This guy doesn't lock either of us. 1's naked, 2's naked. We would pitch in with a visual bracket or just a split bracket here. And basically now it'd be ACM flows. Okay, bandit leans on you 2 press, right? Now you know, cool, I'm maneuvering with this guy and you're the engaged fighter. You don't have to look at me. I'm supporting fighter. I try and basically give you as much support as I can as this fight goes on. So you'd call like, hey, 2's engaged, 2 circle, 1 circle, ID, big 29, blah, blah, blah. Just basic stuff. So we can skip, I think, all the other crap for now. Let's talk about the departure and the saddle and then the recovery. Okay, so we're going to be over here on the Foxtrot 15 ramp. We're going to basically start up our jets. They're already loaded, so you don't have to load anything. The STN code should be loaded. If they're not, we can try and fix that on the link, but we'll probably do that en route to the area to keep the time short. We're going to go to the Alpha South EOR. It's just follow the leader, so you just follow me. Cruise over to the EOR, basically arm up. Then we're going to depart runway 03 left. Go to my smart card. We're going to do the flex north departure. So after takeoff, it's going to be 15-second AB takeoff today, rolling. But 15-second AB rolling takeoff. We're going to hit flex below 3,000 feet, and then I'm going to turn direct to Dream. I'm actually not going to continue on this mint Dream departure. It would just be a VFR flex north departure. I'm going to be pitching for 350 knots at about 750 FTIP. So you'll have plenty of gas, or power delta rather, to join me in mill power. The way the rejoin should work is that 2 will cruise up here on the left side, come into like a route formation. You don't have to be super close, but route formation inside 500 feet for us today. 3 is going to join up on the other side here. and 4 can join up. And I diagrammed this wrong, but it's basically going to be your finger 4 right,
Sure.
with 3 back here, 4 over there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go tactical. So tactical formation for us is just going to be a 4-ship wall, 1 mile to 1.5 mile line abreast. We'll be pushing it up to basically 400 knots, tack turns in the area. Commits, so let's talk about the commit. Commit will be AB, so full afterburner, and then pitch for 0.9 indicated Mach above 30,000 feet. Once you hit 30,000 feet, accelerate to Mach 1.1.
Okay.
If I see that you're lagging behind on a sight rate, I'll give you a gate call. Gate means afterburner. If we're going to come out of afterburner for fuel, that will be buster call. For the recovery, we can go back to our smart card. It's going to be Actin recovery into apex, and then an overhead brake into runway 21 right. So basically, it will be echelon left. I'll brake first, 2 will brake, 3 will brake, 4 will brake. And if you have to go around, just do it in the pattern. Nothing crazy.
Sure.
Okay, 7 minutes over on the brief. Last question, radio calls on SRS. Are you comfortable using SRS for the buttons and everything?
Yep.
Okay, so our comm flow, if I pull up the MDC, the comm flow in this card is all jacked up, so don't look at these comms at the bottom.
Okay.
But it's going to be have you heard of the push and go pro words?
I've heard push.
Okay, so go just means like you can say something. I won't use it today. So on startup, go to 46.6 on COM 2. On COM 1, just go to preset 1. And then basically the way it will work is it'll be like Viper check uniform, 2, 3, 4. Viper check aux, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Viper push pry 2. You wouldn't say anything. You would just change COM 1 to pry 2. And then it'd be Viper 1 check, 2, 3, 4. Nellis ground, Viper 1, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Viper's push tower or push pry 3. Everyone pushes Viper check, 2, 3, 4. Does that kind of jive with how you've heard push used before?
Yeah, makes sense. I'm assuming
Okay.
all my presets are already preset.
Yep, presets are preset. Don't change it.
Yep.
That's all in there. The comms flow for us will be pry 1, pry 2, ground 3, tower 4, control. Then we're going to go to blackjack, pry 10. Our primary working freak is going to be showtime, which is pry 11. Our alternate freak, in case there's comms jamming, would be showtime 2, pry 12. And then recovering flow is going to be basically back pry 4, pry 3, and then recover from there.
And you said 04660, right, for aux?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
If we split the flight up for any reason, the other guys can use 49.9.
Chief, place the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Python, check aux.
2.
Python, check uniform.
2.
Python, push pride 2. Python, check.
2.
Dallas Ground, Python 1 for ship Vipers at Foxtrot parking. Fragged flex north departure. Squawking 3001. Taxiing to the south. Alpha South view.
Some of these data links aren't showing up like they should unless you're still working on it.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It appears to be correct on my end in the jet, but it does not appear to be depicted correct on the HSD. And Python altimeter check 29er, 9er2 showing 1820 in the box.
2.
Alpha check bullseye, bullseye 1367.
you, Sam.
Nellis ground, Viper 1's at the Alpha South 1 pushing tower. Push by 3. Tower Python 1 pushing Viper's Alpha South UR ready for departure. Python 1, 4x15, squawking 3001, taking runway 03 left, flex north.
Four wheels up.
No, sorry, Python 1's flex north, pushing control, Pri 4. Okay, push Pri 4. Python check.
2.
Alright.
4.
Control Python 4 flex north through 6,500. Python Master Arm Sim cleared air-to-air checks. Control Python 1's the nearest base, pushing Blackjack Python. Python push Python. Python check.
2.
3.
4.
Blackjack today, Python 1 for ship Vipers, mission ID Tango Romeo 041424. Sim ride fragged north of the box gate. Python ops check 1 is 2833, 11.0 feeding okay.
Three 28, 33, 11, feeding okay.
Four is 28, 33, 11.
So too, we didn't talk about visual references, but what you're trying to do is basically, the easiest one is going to be the tip of my AMRAM behind my canopy bow there. Really what you want is the tip of the launcher between the forward edge of the fuselage and the ECS duct. So if you just stick it behind the fuselage there, that's pretty good. There you go. Nice line. And visual 4, Python, go wall.
Did we brief air-to-air TACAM?
Hey firm, 1's up 17 Yankee, 2 you would be 80 Yankee, 3 is 80 X-ray, and 4 is 17 X-ray.
2.
Python, push it up, set 400. Blackjack, Python 1 is leaving you, pushing Showtime 1. Python, push Pry 11. Python update reference 350, climbing 23,000. Python fence in.
Two fenced in 10.2.
3's intensive.
Four's in. I got some issues with with my HSD though. I got no essay.
Roger 4, we're just going to press and work it as best you can. May just have to be a good visual on 3 and go from there. Python, check right reference 360. And maintain 24,000. Python, picture. Magic, picture, single group, bullseye, 25045, 33,000, anchored, hostile AWACS. Python update reference 010. Yeah, I think when I planned this mission, I had us in a fighting wing, off-board sensor cap, which is why the line's north-south. We'll continue as briefed with hot legs to the west, so 3, when I call a 90 left for 1 and 2, you guys are good to make your right turn to cold ops.
3.
And 2, we didn't brief this, but every time 3 says like a hot left or hot right, it's just a standard hook turn for us to cold ops.
2.
Python set point 10. Python 1 and 2, 90 left. Update reference 280.
And 4, 90 right.
Magic, new picture. 4 groups. 3 group ladder. Lead group, bullseye 29070, 1 contact. North middle group, bullseye 28687, 1 contact. South middle group, bullseye 27777, 1 contact. Trail group, bullseye 28096, 30,000, 1 contact.
And 4, hot right.
Two hook right.
2 stripped.
Visual 2. So 2, you'll be able to make it up on this next turn. I'll call the hook. You're going to delay just a couple seconds, and then you'll time it so that we lose this aft spacing.
2.
Python 1 and 2, hot right. Alright, 2, I'm at your 1 o'clock in front. Shackle reference 270.
2.
3 and 4 shackle reference 080.
Python commit gate 270, 3 and 4 pump and pick up 25-mile trip. Python 1, new picture, 3 group ladder, lead group bullseye 3, 2, 9, 39. Python 2, target, lead group.
2.
Remember 2, afterburner, targeting 0.9 Mach, climbing up to 30,000, accelerating to 33.
2. 2, spike 29.
2, skate north, lead group hostile.
3 and 4 hot right.
3 spike 29. 4 spike 30.
Python 1, Fox 3, lead group. Python 1, 2, crank right.
Two, Fox 3, 358, 34.
Update short escape. Python 1, Husky, lead group out right.
3 target for Santa Fe.
Python 2, flow 060, bid 23,000.
2.
Course flight 29, 12 o'clock.
Passing.
Continue. Python 3 is targeted. Middle group bullseye 35139 35,000. Fox 3. Crank right.
Python, targeted. That's crew. 35335, 28,000, Fox 3. Crank it right.
Python 1 and 2, hot left.
Python 3 outright. Low 070.
Python 1, targeted leading edge, bullseye 006, 45, 36,000. 2 sort trailer, standby shots. 1 and 2 update, short skate, Fox 3, leading edge, crank right.
Two, Fox 3.
Python outright.
3 and 4 hot left. 4 target.
Python 2, flow cold, 070, mid 20,000.
Tap flare.
Course flight 29, go.
Python 3, Fox 3, leader 16,000. Crank right. Python 3 outright.
Python 1 and 2, 2 shift in, short skate, hot left. Gate bid 26,000. Python 1 targeted, bullseye 009, 55, 2, sort 16,000, Fox 3, crank right.
Two, Fox 3.
Tap flare. Tap flare.
Python 1, pitbull 31,000, outright. Python 3, untargeted group bullseye 006, 62, 20,000. To flow 070.
Python 3 and 4, hollow.
2.
Python 3 targeted group bullseye 01057, 18,000.
One two targeted middle group early group 18,000 bullseye 011 55. 18,000.
Python 3, Fox 3, defending east.
Python 4, Fox 3, cranking left.
Python 1, 2 ship in Bonsai.
Python 1 4 out left.
Python 1, targeted threat group, bullseye 023, 66, 16,000. Fox 3. Two target on targeted group, bullseye 018, 67, 9,000 close.
2 targeted.
Continue cold. Python 3, hot.
2, Fox 3.
Python 1, second Fox 3 close.
Three and 4, 2 ship in, hot right.
Python 1, aborting east. One's naked in, 2 press.
Python 3, Fox 3, bullseye 03067, 10,000. Outright.
2 out east.
Python 1, Fox 2, merged.
Python 1 4 Fox 3 023 71 8,000. Outright.
Python 3, hot right.
One's merged, bullseye 023, 73, 9,000. 2 circle on the deck. ID MiG 29.
1 press.
Four, hot right.
Block.
3 and 4 shackle 290.
One's defensive. One's 2 circle defensive high. Bandits low.
Four, what safe fuel?
4 is 5.1.
4 gate.
1 status.
One's blind no joy. Left hand turn 10,000. Bullseye 02570.
Visual. I'm seeing smoke coming out of the back of this jet in front of me. That wouldn't be you, would it?
Lock.
3 and 4, hook left.
1 visual, 2 press, you're engaged.
2, ray gun. 2, Fox 2, 29. Splash 29.
2, bug out left 060.
2, 060.
I'm your line left low, 3 miles coming up. Quick flash.
Two visual.
2 Chackle.
4 go line right.
4.
Update reference 070. One and 2 in place to right, reference 080. Pull it back 400, that's mid high blocks. Magic pictures thing. Python, what state 1 is state 0, 0, plus 3.8.
Two, 1, 0, 5.2.
3 is 1149.
4 is 2, 1, and 4, 1.
And to say again your what state, confirm you still got a 9X with you?
Negative 1, 0, 5.2.
Roger. Python, update Joker bug 3.0.
Two stripped.
Visual. Python, update 4-ship wall. Bid 26,000, maintain 26,000 and set 0.75. 1 is hooking left.
One confirm posit 04289.
A-frame.
Visual request rejoin.
Cleared. And 3-4 bid to the south. Once you allow 1 and 2 will shackle to get me on the inside. And Python update reference 270. Magic, new picture, 5 groups. Package Alpha is a 4-group wall. South group bullseye 26664 10,000 hot hostile. South middle group bullseye 27766 10,000 hot hostile. North middle group bullseye 26769 hot hostile. North Group Bullseye 28871, hot hostile. Python Buster, update reference 261. Okay, so for sake of time, obviously we would be just chilling in the cab until they hit the DCA, but we're going to try and get a rep here, trike this group as best we can before RTB.
2.
Python Buster 260. Okay, so 2, quick hot debrief on that last set. I think that was really good. We'll hit a lot of it in the debrief. My only comment is no shot until after 32 miles. So remember, once you're targeted, you can shoot as soon as you have valid launch criteria inside 38 miles.
2, copy.
To target North Group, Bullseye 29662. 3, target South Middle Group, Bullseye 29055. 4, target South Group. Python check left 250. Python 1, new picture. 2 groups. Lead group Bullseye 30851. 3 contacts. Trail group Bullseye 29850. 1 contact. Python 2, target lead group, resort leading edge.
2.
Python 4, target trail group, Bullseye 30345.
4.
Python update, Bonsai 1 and 2 will notch to the north, 3 and 4 will notch south.
So just for clarification, you want me to shoot inside 38 miles, but no later than 32?
Yeah, so we got time here, so I'm gonna update this to a bonsai just so we have high PK shots. Take your shot at like 24 miles, and then we're gonna aim to notch by 14 to 12 miles.
2.
Python 3's targeted sorted trail. Lead.
1.
4's targeted, trailing, sound group. 10,000.
2 targeted, sorted, lead group, lead contact.
Python 4, Fox 3, trailing, sound group, cranking left.
Two, Fox 3.
Python 3, Fox 3.
Lead group maneuvers north.
Three and 4 knots south.
1 and 2, notch 330. Python jet tanks. One's naked.
2 naked.
3's naked.
4 ship in, bonsai.
3 and 4 bracket left.
Four's jumping.
Time your line left low. Miles throttles. Four cleared split. Target the guy high 15,000.
2 spike F1, 10 o'clock.
10 miles throttle.
One's tally 2, tally low guy 2 cleared high.
2 Winchester.
Tally, 9,000.
Tally leans on me, Fox 2.
Cap flare.
Throttle.
One's dead man, cold east.
One's engaged.
Lock.
Correction, 3's engaged. One circle flowing north. Bandits.
2 Fox 3, 8,000. Bandit leans on me.
Two press. Correction, 4 press.
Two dead man flowing north.
Fox 2. Yeah, I'm killing them because of the missile thing, I think.
Two flow east high.
Flash 1.
Visual. Press.
Bug out 060. Chris Younger.
And Python terminate, Python 1-1 terminate.
One 3 term.
114.
1-2 terminate.
Python update reference 120. Python, what fuel? One is state 2.6.
2, 3.5.
328.
4 is 23.
Okay, we're gonna knock it off in RGB. Python, let's push it up 350, and I'm gonna bid down to like 27,000 for the recovery. 3-4, you guys can continue. I've got you guys as the leader, and we'll work our way in for you for the rejoin. 2, you're cleared for fighting. Win.
2.
Clear fighting. Correction 4, clear fighting.
4.
I forgot to hit that countermeasure mod after the DCS update. The first time I hit my CMS switch, I just dumped everything. So, T, it looks like you're holding on pretty good, man. What did you think? You got any complaints as we fly back home?
I don't know if I got any complaints necessarily. I just know that this stuff is pretty chaotic. I lost SA a lot.
Yeah, it'll be good to hit it in the TAC view and just debrief it real quick, because it's definitely interesting, like how the formation breaks down, how SA gets degraded. Yeah, it'll be a lot to talk about for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a case of, you know, the classroom is no substitute for actually going out and doing it, you know. I thought I had it pretty down just based off what you guys told me tonight, and then, you know, you get into it and it's just a mess.
Four settle.
Visual.
Four is big.
Roger, 4. Alright, 3, I'm going to throw you under the bus. You have the nav lead for the recovery. and you guys will be the lead element, and then 1 and 2 are going to form on you guys.
3.
I don't think I had a single tactic flow targeting done correctly tonight, and FSEC got thrown out the window, but it's good to knock some rust off.
For sure. Set 350.
You 3, you have the comms lead as well.
3.
Two push it up 1. And Python fence out, 1's out safe, 2.3.
2's out, safe 3.0.
3's out, safe 2-4.
3's out, stay, 4's out, stay, 1-8.
We're cross under, Python go echelon left.
4 cross under.
2 faster.
1 second.
Buster.
Four settle.
Vision.
I might need you guys to do like an in-place 90, in-place 90, just to catch up.
Copy. Two cross on. Correction, 4 cross on.
4.
Actually, disregard, we're 3 miles.
Copy.
1 and 2 idle.
2.
Alright, speed's 350 and 1 Antigua, finger 4 left.
1.
2.
Three, repeat.
3, you can hang out where you're at, but we're gonna do the finger 4 left.
Oh, you mean to stay here? I'm sorry.
Aim
1 and 2 boards.
2.
for cleared BDHF.
4. We got Vipers right next to us.
Yeah, you're checking all of them.
Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah, my essay must not have been great there.
Python, push 10. Python check.
2.
Blackjack Python 1's over Acton, switching to Nellis, control checking out of the range. Python push forward.
Might be a little rusty on the 4 ship, but I went over and checked, came back. I'm back on the right side of you.
Python.
Okay.
2.
Nellis control, Python 1, 4 ship, F-16's active recovery 6,400, overhead 2, 1 right.
Yeah, I should have given you the admin lead so it's not so confusing. That's on me.
Alright.
Alright, while we're cruising, I just want to talk through some stuff too. I'm not sure how much close form you've done, but there's 3 things we're looking to fix: stack, line, and spacing. So stack is high-low. We always stack low. And so when I'm looking to see just a little bit of the wing, if I'm stacked high, I am too high. Line is my aspect ratio, or not aspect ratio, but my aspect. So from the 3-9 line, how far back I am, how far back am I? I'm looking for 30 degrees or 60 aspects. Visual reference is the tip of his missile launcher basically on the patch, which is center of the fuselage, before the ECS duct and after the fuselage. If you don't see our skin, we'll show that later. And then spacing, route formation, we got like 50 to 200 feet. So just a couple wing spaces here. What we've got's pretty good. And just while we got the time, when we go to close formation, I'm looking to line up the trailing edge, and that will be a good reference for aspect.
Alright, 4, you're going to take the T position. Python, go echelon left.
Force cross.
So am I going to fly off of my next adjacent aircraft or the lead aircraft?
So you're the whip right now, but generally you fly off the lead aircraft. So 4's a little aft for me. I don't care, I'm flying off of 3 still. If I start drifting, you really don't care. You still fly off of 3 at the far right there. You may have to deconflict if something gets hairy. But if you try and fly off the aircraft next to you, you get whipped around based on whatever corrections are there.
Sure.
Nellis control, Python 1, Apex 4500, switching tower, Python push 3. Alright, heads up, overhead, 2-1 right, 3500, 5-second interval spacing. Python.
What?
All-Star, Python 1, 4-ship, F-16s, over fin, initial, 2-1 right. Python 1 in frame.
Bingo. Bingo.
LCR Python 1, Python 1-3 base gear stop to
Bell Tower, Python 1, 4, right base gear, 2-1, right, full stop.
Warning, 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 warning.
LCR Python 1-1 right base gear, full stop.
North Tower, Python 1-2, right base, gear, full stop.
Tower, Python 1, 4, clear, 2-1 right, taxiing Alpha to Alpha South.
LCR Python 1 clear of 2 right to the Alpha South. Pulse Tower, Python 1 parked off south north. Configure for tax. Pulse Tower, Python 1 is taxi from Alpha South UR to the Foxtrot Ropa Alpha Foxtrot.
We're sitting at 1.2.
1-7.
One point zero.
1.8.
So I think we're about a little, well, more than a little. We're a bit past the time we were thinking here, Mustard. How much time you got for debrief and closing chat?
I'm good.
Okay, right on. Yikes, sorry for that.
L-Star, Python 1, parked at the Foxtrot Road, shutting down. See you in the debrief.
See ya!
Yep.
Mustard, you're like, well, I think you're like our third incentive ride so far.
Oh, really?
So we're still trying to get our process figured out, but hopefully it was at least somewhat fun.
Totally. It is fun. It's a good I guess way to gauge how you guys operate.
Yeah, that's the goal. Give you some insight at what to expect and all that
Absolutely.
good stuff. Yeah, that's the other thing I was supposed to do today was prep a debrief guide. So it's going to be ad hoc. We'll start off with admin and alibis while I'm syncing this up. Any big things people want to talk about?
Were we 350 knots the whole time on the departure? Well, I say, were we? Were you?
I was supposed to be. I think I may have saw like 367 and corrected.
Okay, cool. Alright, I mean, I was looking for like, I felt like I was like 400 and something knots and just like,
I was gonna
wasn't
say
catching up.
I was cooking pretty good, even just as the dash 2.
Okay, we'll take a look then. Cyan and Mala, you can be green too. All right.
Is that a pretty standard departure at Nellis? IRL?
Yeah, Flex North's pretty common.
Jeez, I'm gonna move to Las Vegas so I can watch that.
It's sick. You can find the like right spot where you can essentially watch them join like from Flex out to Dream, and it's like just watching people do the exact same thing over and over. It sounds like really stupid, but it's awesome.
It's not even stupid at all, dude. I live in North Dakota, and the National Guard base here flies Blackhawks, and that's it.
God.
Yep. We get like once a year, we get a pair of Super Hornets. I don't know why. Once a year, a pair of Super Hornets come through. That's it.
That's awesome.
So 15-second rolling AB takeoff, just some more numbers for you. If it was mil power, it would have been 10 seconds. If we had air-to-ground stores, it would have been 20 seconds.
Okay.
When we hit 300 knots, we come out of burner. We didn't brief all this, but I'm just going to hit it as we go through. Nice. Very
I was just kind
nice.
of eyeballing your departure. I wasn't quite sure. I've never flown this, so.
It's cool. It was good. I don't know if you saw the ramps or the revetments down there, like the bulldozed triangles.
No, I didn't notice them.
Okay, so if you take a look at the map someday, you'll see like there's these, I guess, berms really that are from like World War II small arms type ranges, and it makes a really good visual reference point for flex. You just hit that berm and then turn. So it looks like you did great. Normally we'd pick up this valley 320, get on course, but we were just like VFR north. Let's see, what was the hell was my speed? Well, TACFU said I was doing 400 here. So
True. What was your calibrated?
Does it do CAS?
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah. It should.
Let's check. Let's see if it does it. Because that's TAS. I didn't have.
Yeah,
I didn't
CAS
have
is
wind.
right below
That,
TAS.
yeah, I didn't have wind super high though. Like it should.
362. Okay.
TAS. There we go.
Okay, yeah, you were chilling.
Cool.
Just felt like it took a minute.
It's that 4-ship, dude.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, so I got nothing, no complaints here. My only comment was, and this is kind of throughout the sortie, I was seeing you slightly aft. So for vis reference, I know it didn't make any sense. This point of the missile rail, this is where the fuselage is. The ECS duct is this little panel right here. Okay, so if you stick, if you stick this like behind the fuselage and then behind the canopy bow, this is like pretty groovy for route formation. And then when we go to close formation, you just line up the ass end of the jet, and this kind of moves back a little bit. Actually, if I zoomed in, it would look a little bit closer.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So slightly after, that's pretty common. I see that all the time with like our newer guys. It's not bad at all. And your information was actually pretty good. So I don't want to harp on it. But if we were...
It gets a lot rougher. It gets a lot rougher for the arrival, I felt like, but...
Yeah, no sweat. So we were working out the tack in. I saw you, Mala. I was almost like for status, but I was like, no, it's cool. He's working it. And then he said that stuff was jacked up in the jet. And I was like, well... This is going to be a not fun ride for you, Mala. What happened? Like, any idea what was going on? Oh, he's muted. All right, no sweat.
He's muted.
No, I didn't. It's nothing. I mean, it ended up working itself out, but I was using the PDLT and I had to cycle through it like 12 times, and then it would never pick up 3. And then I couldn't see him, and I still am on the HSD. But he was like well off to my right there for a minute. I'm like, what the hell? How did he get over there? It was just very strange. But then I ended up like just picking him directly from the HSD, and then it worked for the rest of the flight.
Okay.
The PDLT ended up causing me one big issue with one of our turns too during the engagement.
Okay. So this is where we get to the cap point. We briefed like, oh, we're going to go hot, cold legs. And then I forgot that I had briefed like, or when I was planning the mission, I had done like the new method, which is where we're in fluid 4. Not fluid 4. No, fluid 4, which is you in fighting wing, 4 in fighting wing, and 1 and 2 in line abreast. And we actually like hold orthogonal to the leg. It keeps us closer to the asset, and we rely on their offboard sensors in the link to know when to commit when to commit. So that's why our cap point was like
Oh, okay.
north-south versus if I had planned it better, it would have been east-west at like 21 miles to make it pretty. But we just swagged it, rough, very rough. I was expecting the left-hand turn from you, Coco, so that
Okay.
right-hand turn threw me. But I don't know if it's, I don't even know if it's in our contract. I think it is left-hand turns on cap per
That would make
contract,
sense. Yep.
but, just adapt and overcome. So I audibled the hook right there. So that the reason, just because it was non-standard, it was a turn into you. Realistically, if he calls he's hot right, we just turn hot right or
Sure.
cold right, and we just keep it going. It's cool, a little floating, a little update of the reference. I think I
Yeah, my
hotted
hook
us.
turn.
Go ahead.
My hook turn totally screwed us up there. I ended up bleeding a lot of airspeed initially, which and then easing off a lot of G's to try to bring it back, which is why I ended up so far out and behind you.
Yeah, I gotcha. So here, this was really good. You called stripped aft, it was good to cue me in of like, okay, he's aft here. I don't know if I explained this well, but you can actually fix this on the next turn. So I'll call hot right, I'll turn first, and then you can kind of like cheat across a little bit, set your line, look for the line of sight rate, and then turn. So you basically just guess really good.
I gave it a couple seconds. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see how it ended up.
Yeah, so a couple seconds here's good, and then you'd want to get on it like right here.
Okay.
So slightly up, because like if you wait till you're parallel with me, you're gonna end up behind. So you actually want to turn before I do, but you want to give yourself a couple seconds to close up this distance, this aft distance. So it was good to wait, but just waited a little too long. That's okay, and that comes with practice. So yeah, don't hit it too much. I saw this and I was like,
Oof.
The reason I hotted us.
Okay. This was when the PDLT screwed me up. I saw that data link track pass through my HUD.
Okay.
So I thought you were on my left.
It probably predicted us that I was over here, and that's why the track went over. So we didn't have the blue tracks. I haven't tried it since the latest update, so I don't know if it was the update jacked up or what. I checked the jet. The jet was set correctly as per the mission editor. Normally, we punch it in manually based on how we set up our mission. I really didn't care too much, and like the link isn't super critical. So yeah, just worry about the G, and it's cool. I understand now how you ended up aft. So the reason I hooked us early was because I wanted you and I to be the leading edge. I didn't want to have some really weird thing where they were committing first and then we're the trailing edge. Just because I wanted to get you sorting and shooting on a nice picture. But you're aft. So the reason I have to fix the formation now is because you can't really shoot an AMRAM past me with clear avenue of fire, especially if I'm maneuvering. So we want to dress it. So this was the shackle. And because I'm on the right, basically I'm going left. And I'm glad we briefed this because it worked out decent, except I turned too early. So I should have, the corrective action for me would have been to wait for you to pass my 3 o'clock or my 9 o'clock position, 6 o'clock position, fucking A, and then see that forward line of sight rate. Then I could have made my turn. So this is just me being rusty. It would have been beautiful. As it was, we fixed it from like a 3.5 to a 1.5 problem. And then from here, I didn't feel like shackling again. I just gave you the gate call. I delayed my gate, and then we timed it. So,
alrighty,
let's play some tapes. Let me know if you can hear that.
Yep, let me turn on my volume. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Afterburner targeting 0.9 Mach, climbing up to 30,000, accelerating to 33.
Alright, reason for that is I saw you low, and we were in that commit, so just was trying to remind you, hey, gate, target 0.9 Mach, get above 30,000.
Spike 29.
Yeah, that was absolutely me just forgetting what you briefed.
Okay.
Skate north, lead group hostile.
Okay, so we got the hostile deck. We know this guy's bad guy. We got our skate float, which is basically, if you look at the MDC, that's your shot range, SR, 38 miles. It's telling us when we're basically going to start shooting on the window. And then the skate north tells you what direction we're going to crank. So we're going to skate north because we're going to crank north.
3 and 4, hot right.
Nice. So the other things we're missing here is there'd be a 50-mile calls from C2.
3 spike 29.
Why the heck did they lock you up?
No idea.
Probably,
They kept me locked.
probably he's just in the field.
Oh, he might
guard.
be seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably us locked, but his RWR is picking it up. So a couple things that we'd hit in the B course and like in our tactics development would be this unnecessary spiked calls. Like on the commit, it's kind of assumed that you're going to get spiked. So it
Sure.
depends if it's useful or not. Not saying it's wrong here. Yeah,
No, that makes sense.
It's just, there's like a nuanced discussion we could have down the road. Okay, so here's 40 miles, which is our targeting range. So basically at this point, you would stop targeting and you would lock this guy up. I want to say that this was slightly non-standard because the way that we would traditionally do it in our tactics is I wouldn't even tell you who to target because we have good data link. You would just target based on the picture and based on our contract. Because they can maneuver and the picture can change until you get to this range. Once you get to this range, you just target based on the picture. I use directive targeting to reduce any ambiguity just because we haven't flown together and I know you haven't necessarily done our contracts.
Yep.
But that's how that would work. So here, basically, the comm that we'd be looking for is two's targeted lead group. And I think you actually had some comm and you put out the bullseye, which was cool. Okay, cross check on me. I see your head moving. That's cool. I'm going to pause it here. So what were you waiting for?
I don't know, to be honest. The essay was an issue. So I really wasn't looking at distance very much. I guess I was expecting, I think I was probably expecting you to shoot first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So this is,
because I see him at 32 miles now, but
yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is just so we can have this discussion. So as flight lead, my job is to like manage the flight, have SA on the air fight, and like make tactical decisions. And so if I was to lock this guy up with my radar and shoot, I would essentially be making myself blind in a situation where I don't have link 16. So by not locking this guy up, I can sanitize and I can maybe see the groups behind and see group maneuvers and see how the air fight's developing. And you, as a wingman, you have an easy job where you just lock them, wait for the shot criteria, and take a shot, right? And then, of course, we're maneuvering together. We've got good mutual support, but it's enabling me to have some SA. We have a concept called MTR, minimum targeting range, where outside of MTR, I can directively target you to deal with things, so I can focus on big picture. Inside of MTR, it becomes my job to just immediately own groups and shoot because there's no time. We're so close. I just have to own it and accept that kind of, maybe potentially less SA. So here, I assessed that we're at transition range. And for context, for like what happens if we don't crank by TR, if we don't crank by TR, we won't have our missile pit bull by the time we go to our desired outrange, our DOR. So the reason that I decided to target and share this group is because you hadn't said anything. We were at TR, and on this first set, I didn't want us to get steamrolled. So I'm about to own the group and shoot. You're about to share the group with me and shoot. And it's basically wasted because we just allocated 2 shots on this guy.
With the same parameters, yeah.
Yeah. So very, it's like 2 marginal PK shots. That's kind of like, and we'll hit this a lot harder in the B course, but it's about, well, we'll hit it more in the Flug upright, but basically allocating missiles to contacts based on targeting and sorting responsibilities and relationships. So let me ask you a question. Given that it was expected that you'd shoot this guy, why did I not shoot these other guys? Why not target? Why didn't I not target the other, like the middle group?
I guess I'm not sure. I would assume it's just because that lead group is the most dangerous.
Yeah, you're pretty much
immediately
right.
The most dangerous jet, but
yep, you're pretty much right there. So if you had shot correctly, and then we went to our crank, okay, and now we're actually inside DOR by 6 miles, but I was okay with it, so I didn't really worry about it. But if you had gone here, okay, if I measure the distance here, I would basically not even be to TR here, and I would have to defend against this lead group, and my missile wouldn't be Pipple, and so it would be a very low PK shot on this guy. And the distance between this group and this group is a concept we refer to as targeting depth and shot depth. So from the leading edge, how far are we willing to shoot? And from the leading edge, how far are we willing to target? And it depends based on what kind of flow we're doing. Because we're doing a launch and leave flow, I know that we're going to leave, and so I don't care if it's, and the distance is 5 miles. I don't care outside of 5 miles. Now, if it was a bonsai flow, because we intend to try and merge to this group, I actually want to support a missile on this middle group to keep these guys in the defensive, because the intention is to merge with and attrite that lead group.
Okay.
So it's just an interesting concept. Let's play tape, and I'll kind of shut up here.
Sure.
All right. Right here.
Python 1, Fox 3, lead group. Python 1, 2, crank right.
To Fox 3, 358, 34.
Nice.
I think I read the bullseye wrong.
Update shortscape.
So we're inside DOR. The shortscape means we're going to leave at MAR, which is why I was update shortscape.
Python 1, Husky, lead group outright.
3 target, 4 Senator.
So the 4-ship tactic we're in right now is a grinder. Our job is to get below 24,000 on our cold ops, which is started with the flow call mustard, because they're going to be above 26,000. So it's going to altitude deconflict us, and also because they're on the commit, they're going to be able to lob high altitude shots over top of us. So it's a weather nighttime deconfliction measure, and also it's a CAF factor for them so that they can basically come over top and shoot.
$29, 12 o'clock.
So we're flowing cold. They're targeting here. Leading edge defended nicely. Let's go to shot range here.
Continue.
Okay, so this was a late call by me. I should have been at 10 miles, but the continue call, I'm listening for my element lead to make a tactical decision based on the picture he sees. Obviously with link, I don't need that, but we practice like link out stuff too. So passing is a prompt. It's like a mental checkpoint, like, hey, what do you think? And then his options are continue, which means there's only 2 groups within targeting depth. There's 2 guys to target. or there's too many groups, like there's like 4 contacts in a wall in targeting depth. So now we need everybody to shoot. So he would either say continue or reform. Continue means we're going to continue the grind. Reform means, hey, pick up a 4-ship wall, and in which case we would hook back with them so that we could all own and shoot. Does that make sense?
So Dash 3 is making the decision whether he wants us to basically continue the grinder versus turn a hot immediately. So
Correct.
we have all 4 jets. Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. And the reason for that is because you and I are in cold ops, our radars aren't looking, and think about this without Link 16. He's got a hot radar, so he should have the most SA at this point.
Sure.
So we make our SA, or the high SA guys are making the tactical decisions.
Targeted middle group bullseye 35139 35,000 Fox 3.
Targeted left group 353 35 28,000 Fox 3. Cranking right. You asked me to sanitize there, but when I saw that other guy turning back in, I'm like, I need to shoot that guy.
So you targeted this south guy, Mala?
Yeah.
Python 1 and 2, hot left.
I think that's probably a pretty good decision.
I don't think my radar made it real clear that there was 2 guys in the front there. Now it's the front, the middle group.
Right.
So I think I only saw 1 guy up front, which he shot at, and I saw that south guy turning back in.
Yeah, it makes sense. So it looks like Coco Malin had a nice shots on the middle group. I'll play it back here. So we're actually not supposed to turn in until they go out cold. So this is the first instance of me having low SA mustard. I'm turning us in early, which is going to lead to collapse in our range between the elements, which is going to make the grinder very challenging. I should have just continued probably in cold ops here.
Python 1 and 2, hot left.
Yeah, we could have gotten a couple more miles by just delaying that till they made their hot call.
3 outright.
Or their cold call, excuse me. Did anyone have the BDA window DCS bullshit pop up?
I did.
Yeah, I forgot that's a thing that you have to force disable in the mission. It's force disabled in all of our other crap, and apologies for that.
That's all right. I tried to only call splash if I saw it, so.
Yeah, good.
If I saw the actual impact, but.
Low 070.
Python 1, targeted leading edge, bullseye 006, 45, 36,000. 2 sort trailer, standby shots.
Okay, so that was a really ugly call. Why am I targeting and not telling you to target? Because I'm at MTR, so I have to. We don't have time. 2 sort trailer, because that was like the most clear picture I could give you as quick as I can.
Did you want me to shoot? Sorry, go ahead.
And the last thing was hold shots, because I had low SA on where they were, and the HSD was ugly, and I was like, we need to pass them before we shoot, because I didn't want to shoot a missile into their face.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Did you want, when you said target trailer, did you want me to shoot the trailing group or the trailing contact in the lead group? I think I shot the trailing contact.
Yeah, I think I meant
in the lead group.
Shoot the trailing group, but
back there. Okay.
But I think sort would be correct, that you actually, based on what I said, you did the correct thing. So if I said sort trailer.
Leading edge, bullseye 006, 45, 36,000. 2 sort trailer.
All right. So sort trailer means that you're going to share into the group that I'm targeted with, which would be this guy. So if you shot him, that's perfect. If I had been better and I wanted you to shoot this guy or this guy, it would have been to target trail group. So we target groups, we sort into groups.
Okay. That's good.
So this is just an example of me starting to lose that SA, starting to lose that cohesion. So it's, yeah, you did fine.
Standby shots.
2.
One and 2 update. Short skate. Fox 3. Leading edge. Crank right.
Fox 3.
Python out right.
3 and 4 hot left.
It's interesting because it went from a nice near far sort to a side sort, and so we actually ended up basically employing on. It was an ugly situation. It would have been better for me to own this guy, better for you to own this guy, or share this guy rather. But in the time frame that it happened,
Yeah.
it's just 2020
Right.
vision.
You make the call based on the picture you have.
Yep.
And I guess I was a little confused here as to what I should do, being that I had a missile out on
Flow
me.
cold.
Yeah. So, and we would brief like threat specific stuff. These are like semi-active radar homing, so it really doesn't matter. Like it's not going to get here in time. You can basically use the MAR, but for the timeline that we were doing with the reduced MAR, you were actually correct to turn. So you're on timeline here. I would have audibled it if it was like a super MAR bust, but no, this is fine.
070 bid 20,000.
Nice. Looks like your missile shacked one. That was good. Oh wait. No, that was my
I
missile.
think that was yours. I was gonna say I don't think I got the BDA on that.
Python 2 flow cold 070 bid 20,000.
Okay, this one forces this guy defensive, which is good. So Coco's back in. So this is interesting, and I don't want to waste too much time. Interesting because per the picture, this is like the leading edge, but he's cold and he's defensive. So we basically remove him from the picture for our purposes of shots. So the two guys we're looking at is this. Now there is always a challenge, like when does the missile time out, and when does this guy pitch back in? And Murphy's Law says it's always going to be at the worst time.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that.
Python 3, Fox 3, leader 16,000, crank right.
Nice. So some of these calls, like you're starting to hear it non-standard. I don't know if you've ever listened to any like red flag tapes. You'll hear that.
Yep.
Where SA starts to fall down, we lose the group labels, we start losing the bullseye because it's bullseye soup. And one of the huge discriminators is altitude. You'll hear like Fox 3 16,000. So we had a 16,000, 17,000 foot guy and a 33,000 foot guy. That was a perfect call from Coco because I'm in cold ops. I'm seeing the high and low contacts that are hot. And when he said 16,000, I knew which guy he shot at. So it's a little like non-standard, but it's a good call because it's building SA.
Right, and it's easy to see on the HSI or the HSD which contacts are at which altitude too.
Yeah, for sure.
Python 3 out right.
Dude, what happened to your missile? That was a dud.
Completely dumb.
Somebody call up Raytheon.
Python 3 out right.
Send him a strongly worded letter.
Python 1 and 2, 2 ship in short skate, hot left.
Okay, so our flight has totally broken down here. 4 miles.
Gate bid 26,000 too. 55-2.
Start going a little faster.
Python 1 targeted bullseye 009 55-2 sort 16,000. Fox 3 crank right.
Nice. Very quick sorts and like sharing into the groups. That was really good. Okay, so here you've gimbaled the contact. You don't have to. You can continue to support because we're going to take a low MAR based on our maneuver and altitude. No sweat, but I'm actually still supporting the missile. It's basically just going to give your missile just a little bit higher PK so you get a bit more mid-course guidance here. I just lost all the audio. I don't know if you guys did too.
Yeah.
All right. That's annoying. We stop streaming. Let me try streaming. Nope.
20,000.
There it is.
Python 3. Python 5 decent.
011 down.
Okay, in this instance, I'm ahead of you.
Yep.
And I ended up just slowing down to try to get back into position. Is that an okay thing to do in this situation, or should I just keep my energy up?
No, just keep flying and cold at 0.9 Mach. If I'm a little behind you, what I'll do is I'll call us to turn in. You'll turn first. I'll delay 1 potato, 2 potato, and I'll help fix the form.
Okay.
So, especially with these guys so close, I would just keep that speed up. Because we're right above the MAR. So we want to keep going cold to preserve a re-attack option.
Bullseye, 011, 55. 18,000.
Python 3, Fox 3, defending east.
Python 4, Fox 3. Cranking left.
Yes.
Python 1, 2-ship in Bonsai.
That's sweet, Coco. Outside of sternwise.
Python 1, 4, out left. Hit ball.
Python 1, targeted threat group, bullseye 023, 66, 16,000. Fox 3.
And I really don't know what happened with my turn there.
2, targeted group, bullseye 018, 67, 9,000, close.
Continue cold. Python 3, hot right.
Python 1, second, Fox 3, close.
Ooh.
No, you're high, so it's good. It's really good.
Oh, I suppose you are. Yeah. I
3 and 4,
don't
2-ship in, hot right.
think I killed this guy. They probably should have killed him, but...
Python 1, aborting east.
I should have gotten fangs out.
Okay. Did I kill him?
One's naked in, 2 press.
Python 3, Fox 3, bullseye 03067, 10,000. Out right.
2 out east.
Nice. That's a bad shot.
Python 1, Fox 2, merged.
Flight 1-4, Fox 3, 023, 71, 8,000. Outright.
Python 3, hot right.
One's merged, bullseye 023, 73, 9,000, 2 circle on the deck, ID MiG-29.
Nice shot, Ma.
Well,
Hit him.
I did that because you were not close at that point, but you were kind of getting into that HUD, so I was kind of worried about it. But and how you guys killing him? Because mine didn't kill him. Is that just because of the missile?
I ended up shooting him.
The missile mod.
No, it's just unlucky, dude. Sometimes they tank him. So it was a good shot from you. I was actually really good. Like, all things considered, probably the best cap you could have. And against a Hobbs capable adversary, the BEM does say that you can take these marginal shots because it's kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Outright. Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty impressed with that shot. It was good.
Hot right.
Jeez, it's like I need to go back and do BFM right now. You guys seeing what I'm seeing? Oh, it's hot BFM.
Yeah.
So, Mustard, in our B course, we're going to spend like 10 sorties talking about not doing the hags, which is what I'm about to do right here, high aspect gunshot.
4 hot right.
Purple blast.
So here in this entire furball right here, I'm trying to recall your ACM video. What to do.
That's funny.
And I couldn't see anybody either.
I finally remembered to punch the tanks off when you're merged. A little late. You're coming in though, that's cool. Nice.
Wow. Look at that.
Oof.
I think I'm dead. Pretty sure I saw that and was flaring, unless I'm
3-4
seeing a
Channel
second one.
290.
Jeez, just roll out in front of him. So yeah, I'm definitely already dead here. There
One's
it is.
defensive. One's 2-circle defensive high. Bandits low.
At this point, the AI is like, okay, I'm out of weapons. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah.
4 is 5.1.
4 gate.
1 cents.
One's blind no joy. Left hand turn 10,000. Bullseye 02570.
That confused me because this MiG-29 is in a slight left-hand turn too.
Nice status
I'm
call.
seeing smoke coming out of the back of this jet in front
Yes, I was very impressed with your status call.
of me. That wouldn't be you, would it?
That's thanks to you, dude.
It was a good timing.
3 and 4 hook left.
Now the ray gun, typically pretty useless, so I just shut up because I don't have anything good to say.
One visual 2
I
press.
guess-
You're engaged.
I had him locked up, and I just called that out to just make sure somebody wasn't getting locked by an F-16. That's all that was.
I gotcha.
Engaged.
2 ray gun.
I've shot down buddies in ACM before, by the way. That's why I'm so hesitant.
Very nice. Yeah, good IFF, Ben.
Slash 20.
And yeah, I think all in all, that was a pretty good first ride. I mean, there's a lot we can unpack, but I thought you held your own and integrated quite well, given a 27-minute brief. This last one was kind of retarded, but I wanted us to go fight F1s without any weapons or gas, because why not? The wall became an echelon picture. We had some nice sorts there. This one's very interesting because, and again, this starts to get into threat-specific tactics, but basically we can accept some merges here because they're semi-active radar humming only with some IR shots. So yeah, it's becomes interesting because you can do this 4-ship bonsai flow where everyone pitches in. So here we try to get like a nice sort high-low. Did you ever end up seeing that high guy by chance? Did you see this guy?
No.
Okay. I called the tally.
I was having a really
2.
hard. I had the
Spike.
I had the data link track. Oh no, this is the F1s.
Yeah, F1s. This is the last set.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what.
Okay,
ended up
no,
doing here.
no sweat. I'll play tape here. Coco had a really good bracket call. I remember hearing that.
4 cleared split. Target the guy high, 15,000.
What'd you say there?
F1.
So I said 2, you're cleared split, basically resolving him of engaged supporting fighter roles, and telling him to target the high guy. It should have been sort high, because it's a visual sort.
10 miles throttle.
Nice throttle call. So the throttle call for us, Mustard, is to get out of AB, because if you're in AB, they can shoot IR shots a little farther. So if you go to mill power, it'll cool off the jet, defeat some of those forward quarter IR shots.
What's tally 2? Tally low guy. 2 cleared high.
2 winch.
Were you out of gun at this point?
Not out of gun. I was out
Okay.
of missiles though.
Okay. Yeah, I was out of missiles too. 8-1 to the face because I
Oof.
lost all my flares earlier.
Fourth tally, 9,000.
Charlie leans on me, Fox 2.
Nice.
Throttles.
One's dead man, cold east.
That's bullshit, Coco.
Damn.
One's engaged. Correction, 3's engaged. 1 circle flowing north.
Nice.
Bandits.
Nice.
2 Fox 3, 8,000.
Nice. Wow, on the game today.
My missiles ain't killing
maybe-
shit though.
Maybe it is your missile mod, dude.
I had it on because I thought we were supposed to have it on.
Yeah, that's on me. I probably should have briefed it. I'm sorry.
Bandit leans on me.
Hey, just more training opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 press. Correction, 4 press.
Good press calls.
2 dead man flowing north.
This gets weird.
Well, that was
Yeah.
weird because I thought I was engaged, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden I saw you. I'm like, wait a second. Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
I did not. That was bad. It was entirely bad on me because I did not actually have visual. Like I saw you high, and I thought you were still doing like the 1 circle like dance.
Mhm.
And all I had was guns, so I was like, I'm gonna kill this guy, and yeah. So yeah, bad. And when I saw you say Fox, yeah, I was like, uh-oh. I was like, yeah.
Hopefully it
It's
didn't hit
actually
you.
It's actually a good learning point because, we're so used to using the 9X
Yep.
and just not needing to fight super hard. But we did a gun X a while ago where it was guns only ACM, and you really at that point it's all about having somebody with a good energy state, like someone's keeping the guy occupied. The other guy's getting the energy back to take a very good shot. So entering the fight. So Coco, you could have been direct, you had the energy, you could have been directive to 2, hey, or 4 or whatever, hey, 4, high cover or whatever, 3's engaged, and just taking that position. So, but yeah, we'll have to practice that for our Sinai campaign because we're only going to have AIM-9Ls, and you know how those go.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. All right. That was cool, man. I'm gonna play tapes to the end here. We get the rejoin. We got the finger 4.
You cleared me to fighting wing. That is very similar to wedge, isn't it?
Yes, it's the same parameters as wedge, but it's
Okay.
closer. It's 500 to 3,000 feet.
Okay.
All right. And then finger 4 left. I had to hold up my hand for that. We made it work. All right. Well,
I knew you were underneath me because my red alt went off. I was like, oh, I better sit still.
I had that too. Fortunately, 4 did not hit us. It was all good. We had a nice little chat on the way home. My only debrief comment here was 2 is pretty far aft, and then 4 is pretty far aft for station keeping. But again, small potatoes. We lived and landed. So overall, I thought that was a good sortie. Coco, thanks for letting me throw you under the bus. On the way home, Bala, good stuff with 2 of those clutch shots. Had the missile mod been deactivated, and that's on me. I think maybe the sortie would have felt nicer in the air, but it looked good in the debrief there. Obviously, there's a lot more we can pick apart. We could honestly sit here for a couple hours, but it's been a long night already. So just want to thank everyone for their time. Thanks for flying, and Mustard, I'll throw it over to you, man.